Hello everyone and welcome back to the Carp Commander YouTube channel. Today I'm out here at Twins Catfish Lake in Winder, Georgia, fishing for carp. Now it's the middle of the winter, the water's cold, it's not very warm out right now, it's about 40 degrees. However, the fish are biting very good. I've been here about 10 minutes and I've already caught a carp, so I figured I'd film a little video for y'all, so I'll see if I can catch any more today. And we got one, guys. Okay, y'all, this is what we're working with here. Not too big of a carp, but not too bad one either. Let's get him back in the water. And off he goes. Well, y'all, my storage filled up while I was reeling this one in, but I got a cat. He's not too big, he's about 2 pounds, 3 pounds maybe, but you know, not a bad cat. Well, y'all, I'm good at this. The camera wasn't rolling once again, and I caught another carp. They're on it today. You know, he's not too bad, but I've been hooking him for a while, so I'll get him back in the water quick. There he goes. Oh, I was trying to bait up that rod, and that one took off because this one took off and the fish came off, and this rod got a bite while I was dealing with that fish I just had. I can't keep up with these dang fish. Well, y'all, I've been out here for a few hours and the biting kind of slowed down. I've caught 4 carp and 1 catfish, and you know, one of the carp I didn't get a picture of because it was really small, but you know, I only got footage of that 1 carp because they've been biting real sporadic. When I first got here, you know, I just had them bam bam, they just were taking off like crazy, and then they kind of got weird, and I get little hits here and there and they take the bait off, and then I got one that would just keep pulling on it and wouldn't get hooked, and then I had one come off a few minutes ago. They're being kind of weird, but it's cold and they eat finicky like that most of the time, but I'm lucky to even catch 3 or 4. That's really good for how cold the water is right now. But you know, since they aren't biting too great right now, I think I'll go over some basic winter fishing tips and tricks for carp. Now, a lot of people wonder, you know, how do you catch carp in the winter? Catching carp in the winter is something that's either impossible or extremely easy. It just depends where you are. The bait really doesn't matter all that much unless you're in a pay lake, which of course anyone knows that in cold water you should use a chow pack bait. If you're having trouble finding chow, visit your local pay lake or feed store, and they should have it, no problem. I recommend Purina Aquamax size 300. It works quite nice. Some people use 200, but I really don't like that, so whatever works best for you. But anyway, I'll move on to the more important part, which applies to wild water and pay lakes both in the winter, and pretty much any time, any place for any fish in the winter. In cold water, the fish will tend to bundle up or kind of huddle up in places that are deep or fed by a warm stream or some kind of current. In this case, this lake is fed by a stream. The stream runs from the top end over there all the way down through the middle of the lake to the dam. Now, that channel runs down through this right side here and cuts right through a big open cove. This is all shallow, but there's just one deep channel. And right here on this point where I'm standing, this cuts right out into that channel, so you only have to throw your bait like 20 feet out and it gets it right into the deepest part of the lake. This spot is good right now because, of course, in the winter the fish will try to hide in an area where the water is deeper and the temperature stays more consistent. Now, I've noticed as the day goes on, the fish have been either further out or closer to shore. This is because when it warms up, the fish will tend to come out of the deeper holes into the shallower water because the water temperature is warm. When the air temperature is warmer than the water, the fish will go shallow. When the air temperature is colder than the water, the fish will go deep in search of a more consistent temperature. This can be applied to any fish, catfish, bluegill, bass. All of these fish in the winter, you'll see them get down in like deep holes in certain lakes. Like there's a lake around here, it's called Lake Varner. I have a video of fish in there, but there's just a few deep holes out in the middle of the lake, just way out in the middle. And they're like 30-40 feet deep, but they're not big. But that's where all the fish are. People go out there, throw an umbrella rig down there, and they whip out crappie and bass all day. Even though if you fish 5 feet away from that hole, you probably wouldn't get a single bite. It's not about what bait you're using, and it's probably not even you that's the problem in the winter. It's where you're fishing. In wild water, for any other fish, I would recommend a boat with a depth finder or a fish finder, either one. If you don't have a boat and a fish finder or a depth finder or really good knowledge of where deep holes are in the lake, you probably aren't going to do great in wild water. However, in pay lakes, you have a more confined space and you can often target the fish a little easier. This lake in Lakeview 2, got a fish on, guys. Or so I thought. Well, I got a bite there while I was talking about fishing, but it didn't hook up. But anyway, this lake, Lakeview 2, they're pay lakes, but they're big. So you got to know where to be and you got to know what bait to use. Now, for example, if any of the Georgia people, Lakeview 1 or Reds, if you go to any of those places, the ponds are small and the fish are all confined into a very small space. All that really matters that you do is you put some cream corn in a bag of chow and put the right flavoring in there and you'll catch carp. However, in lakes like this, it's a little more difficult. You have to be in the right spot. So remember, location is key. Well, y'all, it's been about 3 hours since the last portion of the video, and I really hoped they'd start biting again, but they did not. I have not got as much as a tap for a few hours now. I've tried every bait I have. They just, when they quit biting here, they just don't bite. You can't do anything about it. But this is gonna be a conclusion to the day on this lake. In case you didn't catch it, this is Twins Catfish Lake in Winder, Georgia. You can find information about this lake on their Facebook page under the name of Twin Lakes Catfish Lake. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be producing more videos in the future like this, so stay tuned for that. But hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.